Think of it more as I probably would not have you. Lost my camera again. Hey, welcome back. Today I'm out here at Gresham High School. It's a pretty cold and windy fall day, and we've got a few throwers coming out. And I guess they're just doing some off-season training, so which is good. I think it's important that folks come out and do some things pre-season, and so that's what we're gonna do today. Okay, so just a few of those little wind-up throws. I'd like to see a smooth motion, right? Don't get compartmentalized. Make sure it's nice and rhythmic. Okay, do about, let's go with 20, and then switch over to the other side and do 20. You lift it up a little bit more in the back. So I'm going to lift your arm just a little bit higher up there, okay? A little bit more, wind it. Does that make sense? And go a little bit more here. Get a little lift. So get it up to that point so that a little bit higher. There's a little bit of like tension. If you get it too low here, then you start getting tension where you have to lift it first to be able to pull it over. So you want to get it up here so that you can then pull it through, right? So lift it up and then pull it through. You don't want to have to be lifting at the same time as you're making that throw.
Oh, a really big stretch.
Yeah, good. Good. You should feel that stretch from the hip all the way up to the shoulder. Yep. Now left side. Good. Good. Extend that right arm out in front of you a little bit. Get that counterbalance. That's good. There, that looks really good. As you do this, maintain that rearward lean. So when you go through your crossover, you're always still starting from that rearward leaning position. Um, and then follow through. I want to make sure that you're pulling, right? So you're pulling through, you're covering some distance this way instead of having to lift up so much because it does put more stress on the arm. So make sure it's up and that position puts you into a forward direction. Good. Let's do another one more round of just right-handed, and then I'd like to start adding some steps. See if you can maintain your posture as you go through more steps. It looks awesome. So start off with a little bit smaller stride length so you can kind of build up. Kind of like the way you're walking into it. Start the bounding with little tiny steps and then get it a little bit bigger. So let's simplify it. I think you're really putting a lot of effort into it and you don't need to put that much effort into it, right? So you can still walk into it, but just get a little bit of movement, right? Little steps to kind of gradually get a little bit more. Okay. Put the knees and the feet a little bit more forward so that they're a little bit more running position. Good. Okay, so I think I want to set out some cones and work on you getting down the runway, getting you more and more comfortable with it. Okay. Let's see if the wind blows these things away. So we're gonna make it uncomfortably short and gradually pick it up. All right, so left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
So like left.
Let's get you hitting a crossover over the last set here. Yeah, so initially, you can run on the side if you want, but I want you up enough to be able to get over the cones, right? So just really kind of pop through this way. Not super fast. Oh, that's perfect. Knees are looking good. Feet are in the right direction. Doesn't that feel easy? Yeah. Okay. So keep up with that. Okay. One more round just like that, and then we'll put you outside the cones and have you repeat. Okay. So now we'll just get you away from the cones. Start back here because I want you to add a little bit more speed. Same basic rhythm, same direction with the knees and the feet, but I want you moving a little bit faster now that way. And then hit a crossover off the end just like you were. Good. That looks so much better. Yeah. Good. Okay, let's make an adjustment. I want you to jog into it like you're carrying the jab. Okay? And then I want you to, as you get to that point where you're withdrawing the jab, then keep the knees and the feet moving. The main goal is that I'm just trying to get you stable here, and the knees and the feet stay in a running position. That looked really good. Yeah. Does it feel like you can run faster and faster that way? Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't really get a chance to sort of summarize Sarah's throwing session. I had other clients coming in, and so I had to rush on to the next set. But I thought I'd do it now and give you a little bit of backstory on Sarah. As a freshman, she threw, I think it was just under 90 feet in the Javelin. She was a volleyball player. I think she had like 3 or 4 concussions from volleyball, and so she decided that she was going to find a new sport to do, and track was, I guess, that sport. And fortunately for me, she came out and wanted a little bit of help in the jab. So I think her freshman year she threw, I think it was like 80 something feet, and then came out her sophomore year to see me, and she had a lot of those typical volleyball problems, but she's just such a hard worker. She worked consistently over a long period of time, developing all the little javelin skills that I was teaching her, and she came on so strong and performed really well. I think her sophomore year, her first meet was I think it was over one. No, actually, I think it was like 96 feet or something like that, which was a good start to the season considering the last season she ended the season at like 80 something. So she immediately started with a personal record, as she progressed through the season, it just seemed like every single meet she was getting a new personal record. And by the end of the season, she went to her district track meet, and she almost broke 130. It was like 128 feet. And then that qualified her for state. And then at state, she went from, just under 130 feet to, I think she ended up getting third place at 140 feet. I mean, it was just an incredible story. Over a 40-foot gain in a single season because she works so dang hard. Her junior year in 2018, she was doing really well. She ended up suffering an elbow injury, and that elbow injury just nagged her. We took a fair amount of time off from throwing and worked on a lot of drills trying to correct it. We think that we'd figured out what was causing her elbow issues, but she, I believe, threw about 143 feet or so, and ended up winning state. So that was a fantastic, way to finish the season. But she didn't have the big gains, although she was very consistent at that 130 plus foot range. So for her not throwing super hard as a sort of a protection of the elbow, she did perform really well. Now in practice, I've seen her throw, over 150, probably close to 160 feet. But and she's gotten so much stronger this year. So this season, what you saw just a few seconds ago was a very early training session for her, and she was basically just trying to work through the technical stuff, trying to get back into her throwing form. And she's working with a great physical therapist who's very attentive to not only just the needs of her elbow, but her overall training. And she's getting so strong, she's flexible. A lot of the different injuries that she had suffered prior that were kind of nagging as she started throwing the jab, she's just been really just healthy, and that's a great sign for this upcoming season. But for the most part, what's great and exciting is that she's so stinking strong. She's picking up on all the little technical pieces as we transition. As you notice, as we transition from her standing throws into her crossover and then adding a few steps, there are a few little, she's not terribly clean on some of those things, but then you can see at the later end of her session that she really kind of cleaned things up. Now she's still got a lot of room for growth, but she picks things up pretty fast, and I have really high hopes for her season this coming year. So right now, still pretty early. As you see additional throwing sessions with Sara, you'll see her start to throw a little bit more often, actually throw the real jab more often, and you'll see that we kind of take things nice and easy. We don't overthrow her. I'm very aware, I think, of what looks good and looks bad for her, and she's vocal. She'll let me know if something doesn't feel quite right, and we don't mind backing off and working on other stuff if we get to a sort of a danger point. So I'm thrilled that Sara's doing well, and she's back at it throwing the javelin and in training for the javelin again. So anyway, hopefully you get something out of these videos. I'm super excited about seeing the progress that Sara makes through the year. If she stays healthy, I think you'll see her throw over 160 feet this year. So hopefully I'm not wrong on that. But she's super strong, she's very coordinated, and she works really, really hard. So I would be surprised if she's not throwing over 160 by the end of the season. So, okay, well, I'll leave it at that. Hopefully we'll be showing a little bit more highlights of Sara's training in the future. But for now, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, share this video with other folks that be interested in Javelin stuff. And until I see you next time, have fun and throw far.